We're in the final part here, talking Rock and John Cena. Surprise, surprise, John Cena booed to high hell.
Mm.
Nobody eating this bullshit up at all. I mean,
Mate.
probably the biggest boo of the night was that whole handshake and the fucking salute. Oh my god,
And the
Jesus,
cuddles. Don't forget the
Oh
cuddles.
wait. What's so bad about that ending?
that was just so.
What's so bad about mutual respect after a
It
match is
was
over? We've seen this in
forced,
other matches
Mike.
before, and
It
it
What
was
is
was
this, ROH?
You know what? You know
Not
what's
even
so bad
ROH
about
did
it?
that.
You know what's so bad about it? It just shits in the face of the fans that have been telling WWE that they're sick of this for the longest time because all it is a way to make John Cena still look so far above and beyond as this amazing fucking diplomatic incredible hero kind of a thing.
The greatest WWE superstar
Yeah,
in
and it's just
history.
The
it's the
fans love Cena. Boo!
yeah, it's the type of thing where like they had to have known that that was going to make WrestleMania have this giant boo of an ending. They can't, if they did legitimately think that that was going to be the thing that people are like, oh, okay, The Rock likes him, so I like him too now. If they think that, then they're fucking fooling themselves
John
way too
Cena's the real underdog, and he beats him in 5 seconds.
It's just
Ryback beats the shit out of him the next night and gets like the best reaction he's got in months. Right. Right.
But the fact is, John Cena, even after the whole Fandango thing, the next night on Raw, he was trying his hardest to pander to the fans. And
He's
everyone was
been
just
pandering
like,
to them
"Ugh."
shamelessly for years in order to get cheap pops. It's ridiculous.
It's gotten to the point where it's just gotten silly. And the fact is, this match should have been Rock versus Cena with one of these guys turning heel. Even if it has to be Cena turning heel, it should have happened. And then he was mocking it with the whole "I'm turning heel" and turning the
How
heel.
about I give a little heel turn?
Yeah.
well, I thought that was kind of funny.
I thought that was funny. I
I thought that was
thought it
funny
was
too. I
funny,
mean,
yeah.
no one said he was turning heel. There was really no guarantee
No,
he
but
was
he
turning
was-
heel, and yet so many people thought it was a guarantee. And
It wasn't a
not as
guarantee.
internet fans.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to
The
happen.
problem is though, he knows that's what people want, and it's like he's spitting in their face.
Yeah, but it's
with
not
this
his
whole-
decision, though.
I know, no, but it's the whole mutual respect with the Rock thing. They don't respect each other. You can tell these guys don't respect each other. And when the Rock was holding his hand up and everything, and they were cuddling, you just want to grab the two heads and go, "Kiss, now, kiss."
And
Yeah.
how do you feel about The Rock after he hightailed it out of the New Jersey
That's
area?
even, you could
to
tell
go
as
back to
well. The
Hollywood?
Rock was trying to play the whole crying thing, and he was trying to force tears coming out of his eyes. He might as well just stabbed himself in the fucking foot just to see if he could cry. It was just that nonsensical bullshit. It's like, I'm an actor, I can obviously cry. I lost the title, and then Cena looking all, oh my god, I finally did it. I finally beat The Rock. I'm telling you, I'm so sick of watching these two pander to one another and try and give this whole mutual respect crap, which we know doesn't exist between these two. And as Braden said, he hightailed it. I know they're playing this whole injury angle thing. I don't think he's injured. I think he just didn't really, like, I've done my job. I'm going home now and drinking a bottle of fucking
I need to go
tequila.
film Hercules in 2 weeks.
Do you know what I mean? To wash the taste of Cena
Now,
versus out my mouth.
What if?
The million rest holds.
What if 9 months from now this comes up as part of a storyline for Thrice in a Lifetime?
Oh, God.
It better
telling
not
you.
happen.
Hell no.
I'll tell
I'm
you
telling
right
you.
now, if Thrice in a Lifetime happens, I am not watching WrestleMania next year. It's got to that point where I'm so sick of it.
I mean,
that
that'd be
don't
4
wanna
years
see-
worth of WrestleManias being built around.
Yeah, I
Rock,
don't want to
Cena.
see these two in the ring. I do not want to see these two talk to each other. I don't want them passing glances in the hall. I don't want them looking at each other and
Stop passing notes.
yeah, I don't want them like playing fun wars.
You don't want
I
them
don't want
having
anything.
one last tag team match together where they might hint at another feud against one another
No, I want
and beat the
the
shit
Rock-
out of a potential tag
the-
team.
The fact is, it's the same thing what Braden was saying to me at the beginning of the podcast when this wasn't being taped. The fact is, I don't want to see The Rock in the WWE or in a match with Cena. If he wants to come back and he wants to legitimately have a feud with someone, go for it, Rocky. But the fact is, still a self-serving human being who wants to focus on his career as an actor, and I don't see anything wrong with that. And use the WWE as a stepping stone when things get stale. That's what The Rock wants to do. He can do that, right? He's not 110% in his game. He's too out of shape to be in that ring, and I don't mean out of shape as in he's fat. He's not in ring shape. The fact that they had to put about 1 million different rest holds made me feel like this was a Randy Orton match. Literally, it got to the. I was expecting an RKO from Cena. It's just no point to it. There's no point. They tried to raise the stakes. I had more of an opinion on Triple H versus Lesnar when they raised the stakes, because it seemed like these stakes were raised. It seemed the urgency in this match happened, whereas The Rock and Cena seemed to just force everything. Oh, we want to make the crowd believe how great we are. Let's do about 1 million different promos of Rock versus
they
Cena.
didn't force everything. If you look back at what they've really done, Cena has had the worst year of his career. They really pushed that through the whole year. They took a chance. They took a chance at having their poster boy be, as you would say, buried into the ground with all these losses.
But they didn't bury him. It's like when he had this thing with Ziggler and Ziggler beat him, it was always by a nose hair, or by interference. Cena still looked strong.
He lost to CM Punk quite a
There's
bit very cleanly.
But again, he still looked strong. They had a tie-blooming match where Punk ended up coming out with the title. When he had his whole WrestleMania thing on the line, he beat Punk. Right? You can sit there and try and define.
That was when he was on his comeback.
No, but you're trying to define this guy as the underdog, and he's not the underdog. It's exactly what Punk said. He's a dynasty. He's the Yankees. No one is going to believe that Cena is in a desperate situation. And they even tried to throw his divorce in there. Like, oh, look, he got divorced. That's how badly The Rock hurt him. His own wife divorced him because she didn't want nothing to do with him.
Not because he was banging a porn star.
That's storytelling. That's storytelling.
But
No,
anyway,
that's forcing.
What do you guys
as
think of the
far
match
as the match
itself?
quality goes, I was disappointed because it was nowhere near the caliber of their first match, and I didn't think it was going to be. The reason that their first match had any sort of atmosphere or anything surrounding it was thought to be a first time only deal.
Agreed.
It was two big stars who had never encountered each other before stepping up in the main event. This time it was a lazy rehash to sell a title match at the biggest pay-per-view of the year because they didn't want to try something different with like Lesnar or Rock or something like that. Let's just do the two biggest matches from last year and rematch them and throw them on the card.
I had
And
one of
this
my
one was-
friends actually say to me the same thing. He watched the match and said it feels like Cena and The Rock are literally in the planning stages of a match. Like they're still trying to work out what they're supposed to be doing in that ring.
I'll give them credit for one little part, that little reference that they did for last year, where they had.
Cena go for the people's elbow again, then fake out The Rock.
Yeah, that was
a
good.
nice little touch.
I like that. That was actually my favorite part of the match.
And there seems to be a pattern as well with Cena doing finisher and finisher and finisher and finisher and counter and counter and finisher, counter, finisher, counter. Oh, he kicked out 10 times. Oh, he kicked out another 10 times. Oh, look at the urgency. Oh, sense of urgency here in this match. When it just doesn't seem the way it should do. It's like, if you want to look at great storytelling, I know it's in bad taste. Punk versus Taker. The storytelling was there. Everything lined up. We hated Punk for the fact of what he did. It seemed distasteful. It seemed disrespectful. And Taker got his revenge. You got that payoff. It seemed right. When the end of this match with Cena holding up the WWE Championship, it didn't seem like a payoff. The Rock still tried to outshine him, standing there holding his hand up in the air. Oh, look, he's a WWE champion now. Look, I'm leaving him to you. I'm The Rock. I'm leaving him to you. And
But that is a big deal. He's The Rock. Now, regardless of what your opinion is, The Rock is one of the most well-known characters of all time in wrestling. Him giving an endorsement like that, plus losing the title to him on the biggest stage of the year,
Yeah, but
that's a big deal.
Yeah, but it's not to somebody that people genuinely care about.
Yeah.
Other than the kids. Maybe the kids will eat that up, but the majority of the audience won't. The majority of the audience isn't kids, and they don't want to accept that. Like, the majority of the audience is people within our demographic. Maybe not smart fans, but people within, I don't know, like 14.
35.
Yeah, pretty much. And
they
don't want to accept that, and they keep catering towards the kids, and I don't understand it.
Well, because people like us, we're gonna order that pay-per-view regardless.
The main thing is as well, if you check out, there was I think it was NoDQ.com, a fan wrote a detailed letter to the WWE exactly about that main event and talked about how that main event soured his WrestleMania because he was sick and tired of seeing it again and again. And the problem is as well, as Braden so clearly put it, it's a shell of the first main event. It just seems that they're just doing it because they want to show it again.
It was a safe rehash. It sold once, it'll sell again. Except not being
that's pretty much it.
You know what it is? It's a sequel to a movie that made money but didn't get critical acclaim.
Like G.I. Joe.
Hey, I love
there you go, G.I. Joe.
This match, not so much. There's no investment to it. Like I knew Cena was going to win.
I agree.
There's nothing to. Like, at least the first match, it could have went either way. You had no idea. I thought Cena was going to win, but I didn't know that for certain.
You knew Undertaker was going to win, too. That didn't taint that match.
No, but there's a reason on that, because they were on a level where it got to... You went in the match thinking, oh, he's going to win, and then bang, Punk was coming at him. It was going back and forth, back and forth. With The Rock and Cena, it was like rest hold. Oh, look, let's do some finishes. Let's make it look like we're evenly matched. And it just didn't work. It didn't mesh. And the chemistry wasn't there. I think
unlike the first match.
Yeah. The biggest thing was the chemistry wasn't there. And it was just like they were forcing this to try and make it seem as big as the first one. And a lot of it has to do with the build.
The fact that it was like them facing for the first time ever.
Yeah. And, we wanted once as enough. I know I did. I don't, again, Peyton, I don't know about you or about others who probably disagree with me about this. Once was enough for me. Twice for me was too much. And if they do it a third time, I literally will end up not watching Mania.
Or at least on a different pay-per-view, or maybe The Rock won't even come back.
Not even a different pay-per-view. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see these guys compete against one another ever again. Because it's soured.
It'll just turn you off from whatever. Even if it's on a Raw, you will purposely skip that Raw. That's like
it literally soured. WrestleMania had a pretty good card, considering
it's just Rock versus Cena. It was just like, oh god,
it soured a lot of the pay-per-view. And I've had friends come back to me and say to me as well, after I said to them, "Not watch Mania, see what you think." They've all come back to me. It was like Rock versus Cena. It just soured the card for me because it just. It didn't seem as big as it should have been, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that everything that made the first one special is not in this one. It
was all about the title and respect.
But it wasn't even that, because it didn't show respect.
The way that I can sum this up with my final thoughts is I love that their tagline going into it was built around redemption, but that they had nothing for The Rock. It was greatness versus redemption. That's no build. That's just, does he continue to be great, or does John Cena get redemption? It was all John Cena redemption, and so the whole thing was built around John Cena getting the redemption. So
and Rock going back to Hollywood,
and John Cena getting the redemption is not a storyline that much of the fans can really get into.
Yeah, he's gotten redemption by winning the WWE title over Batista at WrestleMania 26 for the whatever time it was, like the 9th time or whatever.
Well, it's like
every title storyline with Cena where he regains it is a redemption storyline. He's earning something. He's winning it back. He's coming back on top after a bit of a slump.
Well,
it doesn't matter who his opponent is. It's the same thing every time.
I think Tony's trying to get something out.
The whole thing of the redemption is, if WWE thought that this was going to be what that people were going to go crazy as like a pro Cena thing, they need to look at the Dolph Ziggler cash-in. That is a redemption. That is the fans being behind somebody that wasn't given a proper championship main event push, and now he gets his World Heavyweight Championship and people go crazy about it. And it wasn't just that crowd. I mean, every crowd is pro Ziggler for the most part.
Well, to a lesser extent as well, you can look at Ryder's reign as United States champion. Again, that was redemption.
Yeah, that was built. We had built up to this idea that Zack Ryder wasn't going to get this big push, and then he gets that. He wins the title.
And they drop
Everybody
him
goes crazy, and they do that. So it's the opposite. It's if they think that was going to be the John Cena moment where everybody, oh my God, John
embraces
Cena,
the C Nation entirely. Yeah. It's
then
not
And you know, the one thing that gets me is that John Cena just seems to be on autopilot.
Oh, he has been for a
Yeah.
while.
He doesn't seem to want to kick himself up a level. He just seems to be at this constant.
Although to be fair, I'm
consistent.
going to give so much credit to his match against Punk on Raw. Shortly after was it Elimination Chamber. That was an amazing TV match.
That seemed like a far better match than his match with The Rock, and this is what I was worried about.
It was in a whole entirely different league.
Yeah, and this is what I was worried about because I saw Punk versus Rock at Rumble, and Punk versus Cena on the TV taping. Neither match were, it's like this match at Mania couldn't hold a candle to either of those matches. And I'm not saying that because I'm a huge CM Punk mark. I'm saying it because the fact is, it's like these guys just went, right, this is what we're going to do. I don't feel like working today. I'm just going to do this. Right, great. Yay, he's champion. Yay. Let's move on to something else.
And those matches were better. Punk and Rock's match at the Royal Rumble was better than this, and Cena and Punk's match from Raw was entirely way better than this.
And Rock is supposed to be the superstar here as well. He's supposed to be the big guy, the guy that everyone's paid to see. And the fact is, Cena's supposed to be the golden boy. It makes you feel almost cheated that you have to go through this and sit through this because it's not what the fans wanted.
Final thoughts, anybody?
It was good, but it was just there.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I wasn't particularly offended by this. It was just status quo. And I know in our prediction show, I was looking for something that wasn't status quo, as I think we all were. I think people are let down by their own expectations, and that's nobody's fault but our own, really. I mean, it's WrestleMania. They typically do status quo at WrestleMania. Very few WrestleManias are WrestleMania 17. Okay, and this was a far cry from WrestleMania 9. I think we could be happy with this WrestleMania overall. The main event, it seems like it's going to be a controversial opinion. It didn't offend me. There was better matches overall in the night. It was what it was. It was okay. Yeah, as Burhan said, once in a lifetime would have been enough for me. Twice didn't particularly bother me. I think they could have done something better, but based on what it looks like is going on with The Rock, and plus, suppose if he did get these injuries, he says he got them in the middle of the match, so who knows how that could have affected this whole thing. No, it's whatever. Cena's got the title now, is the way it should have been. Story goes on. Where does Cena go next? And it looks like he's going either Ryback or Mark Henry, and I'm happy with that. Bye-bye, Rock.
Brandon?
I think a lot of people are realizing that this could be The Rock's last one. I mean, if they're not going to do thrice in a lifetime, there's very few people he's going to come back for. So I think that's why The Rock maybe got emotional at the end of that match. I mean, yes, he's an actor, so yes, he can fake that kind of stuff. So I think it should be taken into consideration that this could be the end of significant portion of his life.
Well, he did say that he signed on another contract for WrestleMania 30.
I thought he said his status for that show was in question.
Because I remember it was being stated that the agreement was reached and that he was doing it, and then Heyman tweeted that he had the right opponent for him. That's why they were setting up the whole Brock Lesnar thing.
I really hope that they don't do that.
I don't know.
I thought he was playing like a bitch because he was injured.
I enjoyed the match. I thought the finish was the best part. Them going back and forth with their finishing moves. I thought that was the best way to end the match. It was what it was. I enjoyed it. I thought it was also worth noting that Cena called that whole match.
Cena always calls his matches.
He called the whole match.
So again, you shouldn't really have Cena calling this whole match. The Rock should have been involved, and that's the thing. You've got someone carrying The Rock, and I knew that Cena wouldn't be able to carry the guy throughout the whole match because he's just too sluggish. But
that wraps up the WrestleMania talk. And as you can see, now we're on the plugs. Of course, the Sign Me Up. I signed up over WrestleMania. It's about time, right? Take a Smark Out Moment sign, bring it to any kind of wrestling event. and take a picture of it or video, send it to me, and I'll put you up on Smack Talk, the same as everybody else. You can see me there holding up my sign. Going to use this picture from now on, me and my girlfriend. Check out all the stuff on the outro and everything else. You guys know my stuff, so let's move on. Braden.
You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/spoodbeast, where I talk everything Super Smash Bros. 4 in terms of speculation and all that kind of jazz as we build up to E3 2013 in June. Of course, keep viewing every episode of Smack Talk that's hosted here at the Smark Out Moment channel on YouTube. I will continue to contribute on a weekly basis as much as I possibly can, because it's my one great source to talk wrestling. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, Burhan.
www.nerdgenius.com. Anything for nerdy, if you want anything from Tech Genius, down to rewriting the book, down to Wrestle Ramblings. Then you've got everything from me. We're going to be doing, you know what? Sooner or later, I'm going to get something done to sort of fix the site up a little bit because it's looking a bit tacky at the moment. YouTube.com/The Nerd Genius. And also just stay tuned. Some big things are coming, and just wait and see, guys. And thank you for your support. And yeah, as Braden said, keep supporting Smark Out Moment. Without you guys, we're just going to be a bunch of guys here sitting there arguing over wrestling.
And Brandon,
talking to each other.
Yeah, we're just, without people actually listening to us, we're just five guys sitting around talking to each other, which is also kind of sad and a little gay.
Hey, I told you I did that once.
It's not gay if it's in professional wrestling. That's all I say.
And also, if you don't make eye contact.
That too. And it's not gay if it's on a Saturday. All right. Where was I before I thought into this? Yeah. If you like sports and you like talking about sports and you like hearing people,
you like hearing five guys sit around and talk about sports?
It's only three guys usually. You can listen to my show, which is Sportaholics Anonymous on blogtalkradio.com/Dream Elite. That's every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. It's on iTunes. It's fucking everywhere. It's the internet, motherfuckers. Search for that shit. Fuck, you don't need me. You got Google, bitch.
Get cracked.
Good way to do it.
Yeah, I'm fucking Jesse Pinkman in it right now. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Instagram. Fuck tout. I think I might get Vine. I think Vine might be the thing because that connects directly to my Twitter account.
Iron Sheik Vines.
Tweet Brad.
Iron Sheik Vines.
Hashtag Brian.
My beard is awesome. I almost had to shave my beard this weekend because I thought I had to go to a wrestling show, but luckily I have to dog sit for my parents, so the beard lives on.
His beard has its own Twitter handle.
The beard lives on.
The beard lives on. I have Duck Dynasty level beard going on. That's all I'm saying.
And finally, Mike Payton.
Oh, well, I come from the Keeping Kayfabe podcast, where wrestling is still real to us.
Damn it!
You can also find Brandon over there. I just want to push once again the Keeping Kayfabe Smark Out Moment interpromotional Fantasy League draft, which will be going on some point next week, most likely Thursday evening. So pay attention to keepingkayfabe.com to find out more about that. And also, if you just want to check out our podcast anyway, because we talk about wrestling too. Usually we do things a little bit differently. We usually pick a match out of the past and talk about that. So if you want to hear 2, 3, 4, however many people we have in the podcast, Burhan usually joins us quite often, so you can hear more of that English accent over there as well. You can go to Keeping Kayfabe and hear more of that. So also, I'm usually here at Smark Out Moment. I do contribute to some of Anthony's other projects, which he'll push, like Fanboys Anonymous, so check out all that for me as well.
All right, guys, that does us in for episode 75.
Wait, can I close on a joke? I want to close on a joke. Okay, what do Trish Stratus's unborn fetus and Bruno Sammartino have in common?
Both heels?
No one at WrestleMania has ever seen them wrestle.
Oh.
Badum-cha. All right, that was it. That's all I had.
All right, guys, make sure that you check out episode 76 coming your way next week. Go back and check out those IWC Outreach interviews. And thanks for watching. This has been another Smark Out Moment. We're being counted out. Adios, everybody.
Outro.
Outro.
Outro. Outro.
Outro.
That's fucking terrible.
I thought that was what we were going for.
We are the worst boy band in the world.
Yes, and the ugliest too.